Welcome to Friday Friends, RI Elder Info's weekly look at the organizations and individuals providing resources for Rhode Island seniors, caregivers, and professionals.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It is 9 o'clock on Friday, and you are watching me, Deb Burton, Executive Director of RI Elder Info, and your host for Friday Friends, where every Friday I bring you information and resources that you or someone you know needs to know about. So please hit the like button, the share button, all those social media cues that say, hey, this is important to check out. Our conversation today is with the Alzheimer's Association, and statistically, we all know someone who has been impacted by Alzheimer's or another related dementia. So we really want to get the word out today, especially because it's really impacting so many of us. Now, as you all know, we are a 501c3 nonprofit, and we could not do this without the support of our sponsors. So a huge thank you to Point 32 Health Foundation, United Healthcare, and especially McCarthy Law. Here's a message from McCarthy Law.
Here at McCarthy Law, we practice in the areas of estate planning, long-term care planning, elder care law, and residential real estate. Our focus is really on providing peace of mind to our clients.
If you're interested in scheduling a consultation with our office, you can feel free to reach out to us at 401-541-5540. You can also reach out via website at www.mccarthylawri.com. You also should check out our social media, both on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn for some helpful tips and tricks.
Welcome, everyone. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is so cool. It's like you're right over my shoulder. So tell everybody who you are and where you're from and what you do.
Well, I guess, Deb, I'll start. I'm Annie Murphy. I'm the Senior Program Manager for the Alzheimer's Association Rhode Island chapter. And my role for the Alzheimer's Association is actually to oversee all the implementation of all the programs and services in our helpline at the Alzheimer's Association. But also a really big part of my role is to support our volunteers who are providing many of the resources and services that we offer here in the community.
Okay.
And I am Jennifer Finley. I'm a development manager here in the Rhode Island chapter. I manage 3 of our 5 walks, and we're on the fundraising side of the business. So what we do at Walk allows us to fund Annie's programs, fund research, and just create awareness about the disease for the community.
Awesome.
My name is Laura Crawford. I'm also a development manager here. I manage 2 of the walks, one of them being the largest out of the 5, the Signature Walk in Providence, as well as the Northern Rhode Island Walk. And yes, I agree. Our fundraising efforts also provide support in our 24/7 helpline that is managed by master clinicians in over 200 languages. And we also support the community. So we're very excited to do that.
Wow. So with all of these walks coming up that are supporting programs, what kind of programs are available for individuals that have dementia or are caregivers for somebody with dementia? What are these walks actually funding?
Deb, that's just a wonderful question. So, I think it's just really important, and I say this right from the beginning, is that, education is power. And anybody who has been a family member or a person, who has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, this is a long journey for the family. And, and our families need to really understand, what this journey is going to look like, how the disease is going to progress, and what kinds of resources and changes the families need to go through to support the person well through the journey. So many of the programs that we offer through the Alzheimer's Association is exactly that. We're trying to educate our families about what is going to be expected. So one of our signature programs is our Empowered Caregiver series, and it's a 5-part series that really educates the family on how the disease is going to progress, what it potentially can look like. And as we all know, the disease looks different for each individual. So that's important for people to know. But we also talk about what does it mean to be a caregiver, and what resources are available in the community, as well as the resources that are available through the Alzheimer's Association. We also just really talk about how we as caregivers need to change our approach and our communication styles with our loved ones, and how to just create a safe, person-centered, approach for that person, so that they can live well and with dignity through the journey of the disease. And I think what's so important is that families need to understand that our services are available, especially our education programs. They're available in person, virtual, and through our online virtual platforms anytime, day or night. So that's just, one piece of the educational puzzle that we, offer. The Walk to End Alzheimer's, also supports Deb, Jen and Laura suggested it, it supports our 24/7 helpline, which is our signature, service that actually allows you to, hear about and learn about all of our programs and services. And that telephone number is so important for people to know about. And that number is 1-800-272-3900. And as Laura alluded, it is available in 200 languages. So we can, connect with anybody in the community who's been impacted by this disease. But also, I think it's really important to people to know that we don't just support people who are living with Alzheimer's disease. We support individuals who are living with all different types of, causes of dementia. And we can educate, the community about those other, causes of dementia as well.
That is awesome. That's a lot of work, because I know Alzheimer's disease is one of those things that is increasing in prevalence. Laura and Jen, can you tell us more about the walks that are happening? And I know that we have a lovely QR code right there for folks who want to take their phone and aim it at the QR code. It'll take you to the Alzheimer's Association. But could you tell us more about the walks that are coming up?
Absolutely. I'll go first. The next walk is in Westerly. It's October 5th. And thank you for sharing the QR code. So Westerly, October 5th, it's at Misquamicut Beach. It's right there in the pavilion. It's a really lovely day. It's a lovely walk. And even though this walk takes place in Westerly and it's called the Westerly Walk, it really serves the whole community of South County, Narragansett, Wakefield, North Kingstown. All of those areas are invited to come down to the walk and are served by that walk. We'll have about 250 walkers there. It's one of our smaller walks, but it's just a great community. And what we like to say about the walk is it's the largest caregivers group. What I see is the healing that happens, the sense of community that happens when our walkers come together. They realize that they're not alone, that there's other people in their community who are going through something very similar. And it's really it's a healing process. That's where it begins for our walkers. Is by participating in walk and having a presence in the community and coming together. And I just wanted, if you don't mind, we've got some wonderful sponsors.
Yes, please.
For our walk. Do you mind if I mention them?
Supporting these organizations. Yes,
absolutely. We can't do it without them. So we've got Electric Boat. We've got DeSanto Priest. Westerly Community Credit Union, they're a sponsor and they have a walk team. Washington Trust is a sponsor and they have a walk team. Valenti's of Westerly, PACE Organization of Rhode Island, they're a sponsor and they'll have a walk team. Also McKay's Furniture, PPG Wealth Management, Rinaldi Brothers, and then of course 321 Media. So we're just grateful to all of those sponsors for the role that they play in helping us get the word out and, fighting Alzheimer's.
So if folks maybe are not a part of a team and they want to jump in this weekend, can you just come and you'll be assigned a team, or how does that work if I don't have a team and I can't put together a team?
So it's okay to be a team of one. That's all right. We have plenty teams of ones, but people can also just register in advance as an individual participant. Certainly registering in advance kind of speeds along the process once you get there, but you're also welcome to register on site. We'll have all the information that you need on site if you choose to show up and walk with us. We'd love to have everyone.
Awesome. So are there others besides Westerly happening?
Yes.
Sure, I'll let Laura talk about that.
Sure. So thank you. Yes. So we have our Providence Walk, as I mentioned earlier. It is our signature walk. It's the largest walk out of the 5 that we have. And last year we had almost 1,500 participants. It's amazing. It's at Roger Williams Park, Temple to Music. And it's just a lovely backdrop. It's just amazing. And I agree with Jen. One thing that I found as far as the walks, especially in Providence, is each one has its own personality, right? So, I mentioned I also manage the Northern Rhode Island, and then of course we have Block Island and Westerly and Newport, and they all have their own personality. So for the Providence, as being the largest, it's the most diverse, it's the most inclusive. It is just everyone in the community coming together as one. And it is the most impactful, especially when you're, having the promise flower moment with our MC, Mike Montecalvo. Everyone just stands and holds their flowers in honor of their loved one that they're celebrating. And it is the most impactful and meaningful moment at that point. And as someone who lost their mom to vascular dementia, there's not a dry eye in the field. And it's just amazing. We as well have amazing sponsors. I would, because there are so many, I would ask anyone to go over to our walk page or our Facebook page and check them out. And if you want to become more involved, to also, give us a call, 401-421-0008, and would love to have you and, have you show up for your community and support your community and just really embrace what it is that we're all coming together to do. October 19th is our Providence Walk date, and we'd love to have you join.
Awesome. It's still a couple weeks away, so that's good, but it's the perfect time of year for these walks.
It is.
Now, I know that it's increasing, but right now, Annie, how many people do they think have Alzheimer's or another related dementia here in Rhode Island now?
So there's about 24,000 people that we, suspect that have the disease, but in the country it's over 7 million. And, that number is growing. I think we are very fortunate that we are now in that time where, we have much more advancements in diagnostic tools, and the awareness has just grown so impeccably that, people are aware, and they're, seeking out, they're concerned about their own cognitive or memory changes, that they're, seeking out and talking to their physicians and their primary care physicians about their cognitive changes, to find out what's going on and what can I do, to, care for myself. And so, I think we're really at that point, and we still have more work to do, but we're at a point where, people are, wanting to know. And, this fact that we are in an era of, treatment with the new FDA approved medications, there is hope that we are helping individuals live well in the, and longer in the early stages of the disease. And, that is, I think giving people hope, because we are making changes in the lives of people living with this diagnosis and other dementias. So it's, the walk allows us and fuels us, allows us to do the work that we do, not just in the community, but at the, the state and the federal level. The Walk to End Alzheimer's fuels the clinical research that's being done in the community. I mean, maybe many people don't know, but the Alzheimer's Association is the largest funder of Alzheimer's research in the world.
Wow, I did not know that.
And the Alzheimer's Association right now is funding over $1.6 million research here in Rhode Island alone.
Wow.
We have 5 active, clinical trials that are going on. And people, if people are really interested in getting involved in clinical research, I encourage people to call the 24/7 helpline, learn about the Alzheimer's Association's trial match service, so that you can learn about how to get involved in clinical research, because we need, participants, so that we can advance new trials, and improve treatment and outcomes for people living with this diagnosis. And the Walk to End Alzheimer's is what helps us helps us to have grant programs so that clinical research can be done in the community. We're very, very fortunate about that, and that's how the Walk to End Alzheimer's fuels the work that we do in the community. So
awesome. So for Laura and Jen, how far are these walks? Like, what is someone committing to for walking, as far as like, what does my fitness level need to be in order to participate in these?
Yeah, so typically the length of the walks are somewhere between 2.5 to 3 miles. Okay. And depending upon which walk you do, they're pretty inclusive. And so we encourage families to come, pet-friendly pets to come on leash, and just really make it a community event.
Oh, I love it. Now, if
I
I'm
just
going
wanted to say,
and I need a drink, do you have like water stations, snack stations, or maybe a golf cart to take me back to the beginning if I have to?
We do. We have a water station about halfway through, and we encourage our participants to go as far as they can or what they're comfortable. You don't have to walk. Not everyone walks. Sometimes just being part of the walk is, their contribution. So it's like Laura said, it's all inclusive, and it's really about bringing the community together, and whatever works for each individual is what we encourage them to do.
That is awesome. Now you have the wonderful sponsors for each one of these walks. And I'm sorry, how many walks are there? I know you had said there's the one in Westerly, the one in Providence. Where are the others? When are they?
We have 5. So we've already done 3. So okay. Block Island, Newport, and Northern Rhode Island. And then Westerly, and then we end with our flagship walk, like Laura said, in Providence.
Nice. So it all rolls up. And Laura, you mentioned at the flagship in Providence, the flowers. What are those flowers? I see them, but I don't know that I know what they mean.
Sure. Those are the pinwheel flowers that Annie's showing you. And basically what it represents is each person has their story, right? So the blue flower represents those that are living with the diagnosis of the disease. We also have orange, which is and Annie, correct me if I'm wrong, is the support. So you advocate for the mission, for the cause. Yellow is caring for someone with the diagnosis. And then purple is you have lost someone to the disease. And then, of course, the single white flower is hope that one day in the future that we will have a day without the disease and we'll find a cure.
So no cure yet.
Well, as Annie had mentioned, we have 2 FDA-approved medications that for some folks have proven to slow down the progression, but we're so close. And because we are speaking more about it, and it's more, and I have a lot of people that do say to me, don't you think a lot more people have the disease? And I say, I'm not sure about that, but what I will say is that people are finally talking about it. And that's what we need. We need people everywhere to just talk about it, be aware of what the warning signs are, and then be aware of where they can go through the 800 number, through, local programs and support groups to find help. That's
Help is available.
Yeah, they're not alone.
You don't have to do it alone.
Absolutely.
And it's because of these walks that all of the programs that you were talking about, Annie, are available. What is the caregiver support line again that you had said 24/7, 365?
Yes, so the 24/7, the Alzheimer's Association's 24/7 helpline is 1-800-272-3900.
Okay, easy enough.
Yeah.
And so if people want to donate, if they want to sign up, I'm thinking that they can go to this QR code right here and donate and learn more. Is there anything else that folks ought to know if they'd like to participate in the walks?
I would like to say that, a lot of folks think that after the walk, it's done. You can still continue to fundraise, donate, support, sponsor, all the way up until December 31st of this year. And it all is rolled up into this year's walk season. We have aggressive goals that we're trying to meet because we're trying to find a cure. So it's important to know that it doesn't end right after walk day.
It doesn't end until we're all carrying the white flowers.
Absolutely.
That is very, very true.
Well, everybody, I'm really glad that you were able to join me today to share about this important event that is taking place in multiple locations and all of the wonderful programs that it's going to help fund. So I appreciate you coming on today.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Deb.
Thank you. As I said, everybody, Alzheimer's and other related dementias are one of those illnesses that is touching so very many people. And these walks are what allows the Alzheimer's Association to be able to provide their programming for free. So if you can, reach out, participate, lace up those comfy shoe sneakers to be able to do the walks. But if you can't really do the actual walk itself, consider donating, because it makes a difference, because the fundraising that they're doing are for programs that are very likely to be benefiting one of your family members or one of your friends. So I encourage you to participate. I'm glad that you were all able to join me this week. I look forward to seeing you next week. In the meantime, be well and be kind.